It's the Luton Town show coming at you live from the award-winning Bricklayer's Arms, the historical and award-winning Bricklayer's Arms in the heart of Hightown. With me, I've got, it's a new face right here. I got Ollie from teams like Luton on the old social media. That's a thing kids use these days. How are you getting on, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, you?
Yeah, I'm all right. And as always, we've got Wedge.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, and we've actually got yet another win to talk about. Obviously, this is our first one back in 2 weeks because international break, thank God. And we didn't have a hangover from international break, although Izzy Jones was injured, wasn't he, after a hat-trick performance.
Yeah, and he was playing as the front man for him, weren't he, as well? So does that give Bloomfield an idea as to where to play him when we've got other strikers who can't score?
If we're launching balls up to Izzy Jones, they're just going to go over his head. You know, they're going over Elijah Adebayo's head. He's like 6'6" or something like that, isn't he?
And they're not going over his head. He's just not winning his headers when they go straight to his face.
No, he is not. But we have the little matter of another, as the club put it on their social media, in their bio, another W on the road. Don't you think? Okay.
Back-to-back away wins.
That was the first back-to-back win on the road since February to March 2023 when we beat Birmingham and then beat Sheffield United. Obviously, that season ended with promotion. Do you think promotion is going to happen this year? Can we catch Leeds? It starts on Saturday, doesn't it?
We could get promoted out of the relegation zone, maybe.
Yeah. But we went from the heady heights of 23rd to 23rd yesterday.
I know. It was...
Yeah, Ollie, you can talk as well, mate. You know, we don't want to just keep broadcasting this. I'll have a drink and you give us your thoughts on... what are we talking about? About another W on the road. Firstly, is that pathetic that the club have done that?
I mean, I don't think it's pathetic because we're in need of as many points as possible at the minute. But the way that the goal came, possibly you could see it that way.
Sensational own goal.
It was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was complaining about, we just don't get any luck and things like that. Obviously, Alabama hitting the post, and 15 seconds into the second half, we have that. Oh, it's beautiful, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. So my Sky Plus stream was behind yours.
Yeah.
And you said, "Oh, what a goal!" And I was like, "What? You're not messing with me, are you?"
Yeah, I told you it was the goal of the season.
So I immediately, as soon as I saw that go in, I think I put on our group that is straight out the Julian James, John Dreyer playbook. Bit before your time. It's actually before our time as well, because that was in the 91-92 season. We got relegated. I actually mentioned this in my post-match. Someone corrected me, though. It wasn't against Stoke. It was against Sheffield Wednesday, where Julian James just twatted the ball into John Dreyer's face. And I scored the goal yesterday as an 8 out of 10 because it didn't hit Alfie Jones in the face, it hit him in the chest. But it was still a spectacular goal. And it was also much closer to goal than the James Dreyer. Fantastic.
I haven't seen that one. Maybe you might be able to...
I think I put it on the group. I don't know. Maybe Editor Kate. Please, Editor Kate, splice it in. We've got to...
Staff were pretty poor, weren't we? Good 10 minutes. Started off bright. And then nothing after that, was there?
Yeah, Jordan Clark had a go.
Oh, obviously, Adebayo came close with his chance.
Yeah.
Hitting the post.
Did everything right. Morris looking like Bambi on ice.
Well, to be honest, I'd say yesterday Elijah actually looked better than Morris, especially in the first half. Like Morris, I said it in my post-match as well. I was watching him with a mate who's a Spurs fan, and when Morris had that chance where he just completely snatched it with his right foot, he was like, "Is he left-footed?"
Yeah.
And then Morris had to go with his left foot later on. I was like, "No, he's neither-footed."
Yeah. But, he buried, 2, 3 of them last season? Where it was a free kick to the back post and he just half volleyed it.
Everton, he'd do it regularly.
Yeah. I just, again, confidence. We always talk about confidence, don't we? And, if he'd scored like 4 or 5 in the last 5 games, he'd be burying that. But
we need to have sing-alongs with Julie Andrews in the changing room, get some confidence in finishing.
I don't get that reference. This is a Mary Poppins reference.
No, it's Sound of Music. I got confidence in sunshine. I got confidence in rain. No. Okay, that's the one that fell through. How have you not seen Sound of Music? Have you seen Sound of Music? What? Got a VHS, I'll lend it to you. What's a VHS? The confidence, the lack of confidence is a real issue, especially when you got to score goals, because goals are not at a premium right now.
But, the first half, I mean, the strikers weren't getting any. Well, I guess they were getting a supply by long balls, but we couldn't get the ball on the deck. We just weren't playing.
Put Izzy Jones up top.
Football.
Yeah, exactly. Well, put Izzy Jones up top. You know, he's perfect for the ball not being on the deck.
Yeah. Run the channels, but the ball won't go in the channels. But yeah, I put in our group, didn't we? Like, we are just so narrow. And when you look at Hull and they've got Gelhardt and Kamara hugging those touchlines, it just stretches the play. And then you've got their midfielders coming through the middle. It makes it more difficult to defend against. And
it's the shape. It's entirely the shape. It's the shape that Matt Bloomfield aspires to play. And right now we're stuck doing the 3-5-2 over and over again, because that is the way the squad's been built over the past 3-4 years. Our January signings, we brought in
Josh Bowler.
Yeah, we brought in Josh Bowler, a right winger who's looking to get his career back on track after 3 or 4 years at Forest. And his career's hit another speed bump. Really. He left Cardiff? He left Cardiff because he was stuck playing right wing back in a 3-5-2. He's come here, played 4-2-3-1 for 2 games, and now we're back to playing 3-5-2. There's no space for Bowler, no room for Bowler at the inn. Real shame.
Yeah, I mean there is, but I don't know why Bloomfield feels they has to play a 3-5-2. But it's got to win.
Because he's got to get the prolific strikers, Elijah Adebayo and Colton Morris up top together.
What do you think to Nordas when he came on?
I mean, it's a limited amount of time that we're seeing him in, so I don't want to judge him too early, but the fact that we brought him in for big money, and we must not be seeing something in training that other people are seeing, that Matt Bloomfield's seeing, because obviously if he's come in for this big money and he can't replace Adebayo and Morris on the form that they're on at the minute.
Yeah, from the start
as
well.
Are we expecting much from him with the poor form that Adebayo and Morris are on?
Well, that's the thing, because Jacob Brown's out now for the season. It's a real shame, considering the big money we brought in Jacob Brown on, and the big money that Jacob Brown is on as well. And he's really struggled to make any leeway in his losing career at all.
Did you read the articles about him opening up and being vulnerable when Matt Bloomfield come in, and he's just basically in front of the squad, just opened up and pretty much broke down in him because of all his off-field stuff that he's been bottled in.
So I didn't see that. I think it's very good that he's talking about it.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you're a footballer in the public eye. It's a tough gig, but you get financially compensated well to do it. And the main thing is the club have to have better care, a duty of care to the players. Because there's obviously a lot of stuff that's not going right at the moment. And if we flip back to when Rob Edwards left, and Gary Sweet said, Rob had his eye off the ball for up to a year, possibly longer. So what? At the time, that would have been towards the tail end of the Premier League season. What were the boards? What were the club as a whole doing for that? Just telling him, keep going. In all fairness, I think Rob Edwards should have probably stepped away if things weren't good, whether at the club or his personal life. There's been wild speculation about what happened.
Yeah, and when your manager, if your players and your squad can see that within your manager, it just has that kind of trickle down effect, doesn't it?
Shit rolls downhill.
Yeah.
From the top.
Sorry, that tickled me, that one.
No worries. I'm glad it tickled you. It's called Mr. Tickle.
For some reason, I can imagine that being some old folk event that goes on, like the cheese rolling, but it's just from like a really poor community. They've got no cheese. They've just got shit which they roll down the hill and chase.
They bring it out every year.
Reading that thing about Jacob Brown and the fact that Bloomfield's come in, they apparently do this presentation, and it helped Jacob Brown kind of open up about a lot of stuff which he's going through outside of the club, and to kind of feel that you can be part of a squad where you can be like that. It kind of, I thought it might, help him and kind of clear his mind. He said that he's starting to feel a lot more focused, and now unfortunately he's got an injury. So, because I think you could see against the Portsmouth game, he had a kind of an extra yard in him.
Yeah.
And I only played for 60 minutes in that game, but
he looked good when he came on against Watford's.
Yeah.
The only one.
I think it's a real bad time in his injury, and he always gets these bad injuries towards the end of the season. I say always, he's only been with us 2 seasons, but it's obviously last year he had that injury, didn't he, which got him out for the rest of the season, and he didn't come back till September. So it's a shame, because he's a hard-working player, I think, and I think he could have been integral for us. But I think a player which should get more game time, I think Ali.
Yeah.
I mean, he comes on, 100%. He looks so much better, doesn't he?
Yeah. Even when he's been brought on at like wing back and striker, he's always shown like something else that we don't have at the minute, as in a spark, like on the ball. He's good with his feet, in which I don't feel like Adebayo and Morris have been doing at the minute. The hold-up play from Morris has been really good, and just I feel like we need that runner off to the side, like a big man, short man type thing.
Well, that's worked throughout the years, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And also occupies the space that you were talking about, where Kamara and who's the other fella from Hull?
It was Gelhardt.
Yeah, it occupies that space
Yeah.
that those two do, but fundamentally it's not going to really happen, is it? Because the shape we play, it just leaves you completely exposed in the middle, and then it leaves no one up top. But yeah, I agree with you about Ali. So direct and fast.
Yeah.
And without Jones in the team yesterday, like it was yesterday, well, by the time you're watching this, it'll be Monday lunchtime. So the game on Saturday. Without Jones, we saw it throughout the first half of the season without Chilwell Bene. Like there's no pace in the team. Like Tahib Chong was back. Good to see Chong back, and Burt got 45 minutes as well. Happy days, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad to see Chong back, because I thought when Bloomfield came in and we were going to be playing a different formation, I thought it would suit Chong brilliantly, playing like that left forward off of the main striker up top, with Asgard behind, and then you'd have someone like Ali or Bowler on the right. I thought that was going to be, a really, really good attacking team. But hopefully Chong can bring a bit of magic, a bit of life to us.
But right wing back?
No.
He should be one of the guys. To be honest, I said it in the preview with Ryman. One of the forwards have to be dropped. Like, if it's Elijah or Carlton, you play one or the other, and then you play Asgard and Chong in behind. So you have runners beyond. It's not working.
The one time it did work did lead to our goal, though, wasn't it? It was the long ball from Kaminsky. Morris won his header. Adebayo literally just touched it down to Asgard, but obviously Coyle came in.
But where did the ball go when Elijah laid it off? It went to the Hull player.
It went to Coyle covering, yes.
It didn't go to Asgard.
You could see that's what we want.
Oh, yeah.
Almost happened. If Asgard was on his toes.
To do that 12 times a game. In all fairness, I don't know if Asgard would have been able to finish it the same way that Owen Coyle did. That's like something out of snooker, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like a trick shot.
Yeah, off the jaws and into the opposite pocket. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic though. Any other thoughts about the game yesterday?
On the relation to the strikers, I just can't see anyone off the bench that has brought an impact that we've needed necessarily.
Not Nordas. Mr. Giraffe.
No, well, I said my feelings last time, didn't I? He's maybe it's because he's not getting enough game time or anything, but that's the thing. When you've got Nordas on the bench and no other strikers, you kind of, in this formation, you're forced to play Adebayo and Morris. So I don't see why. I mean, this other thing was Rob Edwards' downfall, but he just wasn't willing to change.
Well,
the same.
Yeah.
nothing's changed pretty much.
It's almost like
Well,
status
playing
quo.
the same formation
Yeah.
as well.
It's like Bloomfield status quo, keep it as it was, and then when we get to the end of the season, doesn't matter what league we're in, it does. But
Gotta
this, I'm
results,
talking as if
yeah.
it's from the board, then you can do what you want. But at the moment, it's going to go this way, which I think is a crazy way. One thing I am impressed with, I know obviously the last few games we've played have been against teams around us and a very poor Middlesbrough, but defensively, we're looking much more resolute, I think. And McGuinness and Makoso together.
Great block on the line from McGuinness.
Mm-hmm.
Quite rightly, the club haven't made a big deal out of that. That's another thing that's quite funny. Like, as soon as we win, the club are like banging out the social media drum. It's like, wow, oh, Thomas Kaminski.
And as right, that was
yeah, a tremendous save at the death,
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great save.
I feel like he's been slagged off multiple times this season by our fans.
That was his best performance.
Yeah,
he
100%.
commanded his box. That was
outside the box as well.
Outside the box, like how far he came up, I was like, oh my god, who's getting decapitated here?
But that's what happens when you've got a defence in front of you which is leaky and you've got all this pressure on you all the time and you're conceding goals, you lose confidence as a keeper. When you've got a partnership in front of you which works well, then you trust what's in front of you and then you can focus more on being kind of commanding and you can have that relationship with your defenders. So I think the fact he's kind of got a bit of how many games is that now that McGuinness and Makoso have spent together?
3
Yeah,
maybe.
so-
and we've looked better.
It's consistency, isn't it? And then
Naismith can't get on the
No.
pitch. Well, I mean,
Which
he
is
was on the
strange.
pitch yesterday, but he's not starting, is he?
no, because you think with Bell coming back with an injury from international duty, you thought he'd be rested, and Naismith would naturally fill that left centre back side, but apparently not.
Yeah. Well, it's the headaches for the manager, isn't it?
Here's a question:
Yeah.
do we look better with or without Albert Downey on the pitch?
I think it's difficult to say because based off the timings of the substitutes, it's either we've gone very attacking or we've changed the formation. But I do think ultimately we do look better with him on the pitch.
He's got a wonderful left foot, but he doesn't look the same player as prior to his injury. There's been a lot of chatter that he's carrying a bit more timber. Like, I don't know, who am I to comment on someone's spare tire on their belly? But as a professional footballer, you need to be lean. You really do.
I'd tell that to David Bell.
David Bell, the Wellingborough Wizards, what a player he
He
was.
was. Well, I remember the first time he came on, I looked at him like, God, he's a bit top heavy. And then he went, and I was like, he's good though.
Yeah, you can't always judge a player based on their appearance. Like
Steve
Steve
McNulty.
McNulty. Yeah, exactly. Like he was an idol for me as a footballer because it just proved that body shape doesn't matter. It's if you're good enough.
Yeah.
And he had the footballing brain. He really did.
We didn't mention it against Middlesbrough, but they did a video before the game, like a montage of all goals and stuff up on the scoreboard, which they've never done before. I didn't know we could play videos on those scoreboards. Yeah. And they put the Steve McNulty 35-yard volley on that, and it's
yeah, I actually can't see that because there's like a pylon in front of me from where I sit. You have the benefit of being a bit further along next to the directors.
Yeah, zero interference.
Yeah, they get a clear view, don't they?
Yeah.
I'm right above the tunnel.
Literally, sat in F block, you're asking people to your right, like, what's
what is it? I feel for everyone in the Oak, to be honest. You know what they should have done? They should have put a massive screen at the top of the Kenilworth Road end. Sort of like how Oxford have it in front of their car park.
Yeah.
They should have put a big screen at the top of, maybe it's an issue, what with, being in the flight path and everything.
Well, you know how they used to, at the top of the Kenny, and they used to have EasyJet.
Yeah.
They should just put a big screen there, so that everyone flying into Luton Airport can properly watch the game.
And they can say, do you know what they should do instead of instead of having the game on there? They should have a big sign that says, "Welcome to Gatwick." really upset people. Just to get on the roof.
Home of Crawley Town.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to depress you guys. So Will from Luton Town, Facts and Figures, he's no longer on Twitter because Twitter's a cesspit. Sorry, Ollie. So he's done like a sort of analysis of where we're at in the bid for survival, and he said, I won't bore you with how he's done the rundown. He said Plymouth and Oxford have the most difficult run. Hull have the most comfortable run, the easiest. And
they can't beat teams like Luton. Is it going to be that easy for them?
Exactly. He says it's, in his opinion, it's a 5-way battle between Stoke, Oxford, Cardiff, Derby, and Luton. So I won't say who he thinks is going down. Yeah, Plymouth. I think Plymouth are done. And Will's also said the way it's going, it's going to easily be a plus 50 season. Essentially, like Birmingham went down last year with 50 points. And this season, other than Plymouth, everyone's likely going to be above the 50 mark, especially as all the teams around us have now started to get momentum, including us, one loss in the last 5. So
I think we've got a reasonably tough running, I think.
We do. We have key games around us.
Yeah.
Derby and Stoke.
We have 2 out of 7 against teams around us.
Yeah.
Beat those 2 is still not enough. I was looking at this, and I don't know about you guys, but I could see us maybe getting 8 points maximum.
Yeah. So
Which doesn't take us to 50.
Will has said we need 14 points from the last 7.
14 of 21.
Yeah. Now that's his analysis of the situation. We need 14, so we need to average 2 points per game, which is pretty much what we're averaging now. I don't agree with what Will said in terms of who we need to beat. He says need to win at least 3 from the last 4 home games. They're tough ones though. And then take a point at West Brom or one of the other 4 home games. So he says it's tough, but we need a win and at least a draw at Stoke. I'd say Derby and Stoke are both must wins.
Oh, 100%.
They're both 6-pointers.
The thing is, you look at the teams that we've got, and none of them are mid-table. Everyone's pushing for something.
You've
got Leeds. I mean,
I'm
not saying that's a defeat at all. I mean, they're in a streaky run of form at the moment.
I think it's actually a very good time to play Leeds.
Yeah. At home as well, after just winning, if we can bring the energy from an away win back to Kenilworth Road and really, really get behind them, we can get something out of that. I'll take a point against Leeds.
Yeah. It's almost a shame though we're not playing any of the middle of the road teams, the teams that aren't threatened with relegation, the teams that aren't pushing for playoffs.
But then,
the likes of Sheffield Wednesday, the likes of QPR, teams that have literally they're on the beach.
Yeah,
they're done.
Because that's the thing. By the time we get around, so our last 3 games are Coventry, Bristol City, and West Brom.
Yeah,
they could be fighting for playoffs. They might be down and out by then. So I'd much rather play them towards the end than in the next couple games.
Yeah. You don't want to play them while they're pushing.
No. So we'll see. But then the next 4 games is where it lies.
Really I do ultimately believe that at home, if we bring the right crowd and the Luton fans want it as much as the fans want it, like previous years, I don't think we've seen it this season other than Watford.
No.
we just need to keep supporting them and keep our heads up for as long as possible.
I think the run of form that we're on at the moment certainly helps because for the entirety of this season we've just been served terrible performance after terrible performance. So the fans come in and it's I know how I feel when I'm on my way to a game. I'm like, oh gosh, I've got to go to the game now. There's no excitement because you certainly, under Edwards, we're going to be served the same serving of rubbish this week, nothing around it. Right, I want to switch up to a more cheery subject. So, in financial news, club accounts have to be published by the end of March, and that is
tomorrow.
Well, no, it's not tomorrow. It's Monday.
Which is?
Oh yeah, it's Sunday today. Okay, so when this is released, the accounts may or may not be open.
They should be.
They should be, but
Will they?
will they be? That's the thing. And if the club don't release them, they have to pay a penalty of, it's just £100. Gary can find that down the back of his his couch cushions. That's the problem. Why are the club not being so forthright and releasing the accounts so quickly? And my thought about it is because, remember, these are the accounts, they're done in arrears. So the accounts that will be released are from the 23-24 season when we were in the Premier League. So the season of the Premier League where obviously there was a lot of money, good feeling around the club. However, this season there is a lot of bad feeling around the club. And obviously there will be a lot of bonuses that would have been paid for getting to the Premier League. So I think the club are resistant to publish them because these have to be visible. These are published on Company's House.
Yep.
And everyone will be seeing them. Kieran Maguire will be doing an analysis on them and looking at it. And it's going to make horrendous reading if Gary Sweet has, been paid a bonus, which he obviously would have been paid for the task of being CEO and steering Luton Town into the Premier League. However, with these accounts being a year later, the problem is a lot of the fans are going to just see the figure, accounts released, and then £1 million bonus. Or, to be honest, I think if it's any figure above 100k, the fans are going to be wanting blood from Gary Sweet. You'll be, front row for that. Block B.
Yeah, I'm not very business savvy, so.
Oh, you will know. Like, essentially, you'll be going around social media. People are like, he got how much? Or that's his bonus. We're in the relegation zone. I think it's fair that money comes out the club for the people that have been supporting the club, pretty much prop the club up when the club were hemorrhaging money at the time of the conference because we were in the conference for much longer than any of us originally anticipated. So naturally, a lot more money had to be pumped into the club, and I think it's only fair that with the club having a surplus of funds, it's fair that money gets paid back to our benefactors from our time in the conference. However, I don't agree with fat cap bonuses. Now, I don't want to get all socialist here. I don't want this to be political at all. But Gary will be getting a nice bonus, and fans will be quite rightly aggrieved. But why do you guys think that, I don't know, you guys aren't as commercial, potentially? Maybe you don't care. But why do you think the club accounts haven't been released yet? Because virtually everyone else has. And by the way, if we don't release them in a promptly manner, we also run the risk of being given a transfer embargo.
Well, that's not the worst thing because we don't do very good transfers.
Yeah, helping us out.
Exactly. I personally, I don't really have much to comment on that because I'm just not, like I said, I'm not savvy enough. And if they've got until tomorrow to release them, they've got. I'd worry if it did go past that deadline. Mm-hmm. Then you think, they are hiding something.
Yeah.
Well,
okay. Let me.
But I'll basically just look at it, and if we're in the green, then I think fair enough.
Okay.
As long as we're working within the means of everything, then.
Well, we don't really know. We won't know until next year if we're working within the means, considering how much we dropped in January on transfer windows. But let me ask you this: considering how the season has gone this year, how will you react if Gary Sweet gets a massive bonus?
I mean, my view on it is, unless a certain figure, if it goes above that, then I can see the reason why fans are getting annoyed.
About £10.50.
Honestly, this season, social media is, for Luton, as expected for any football club nowadays, it's just go at everyone. And
who are they going at now that I'm not on there? Who's getting the brunt?
Honestly, I don't even think it's that bad anymore because obviously we're winning. It's just, when you lose and you're used to a certain style, that's losing every week, the fans are just going at anything. So obviously, even if he gets the £10.50 pay rise, then
it's too much.
Fans will throw themselves at it still.
£10.50, I think that's fair. No, I think the figure is anything above 100k. If he gets a bonus higher than 100k, like we're in a cost of living crisis. 100k is like more than most people see in like 2 years. So,
and the rest go on the average.
Yeah, well, the average was.
The average is what, 29,000 in it?
Yeah, so it's like
3
years, 3 and a bit years. Yeah, like essentially, I think he's dreading it, and he's very visible in the director's box. So I guess we'll have to see what happens with that. Just release the accounts, Luton. I know you don't watch this, but release the accounts. Release them. We'll see.
I will be when you see kind of. Do they break it down as to what everything goes towards? So will there be
it's
like players?
It's a standard accountancy spreadsheet. It's very boring. So you'll see like amounts in, amounts out. You'll see the average salary, the total
that's
amount that's
why
been
like,
paid.
the average salary for the players will be so much more than we're ever used to.
It's crazy. Like we're a long way from like when we were in League One. Players were like on not normal salaries, but they were. The top earner was probably on like 5k a week, and now I think the average is probably 20 to 25k a week, which is still like a 30% drop from where we were in the Premier League. Everyone's had a wage drop across the board. Yeah, it's Kieran Maguire will get an analysis done, and he always breaks it down for the layman. He's a good guy, friend of the pod, Kieran Maguire. I actually interviewed him at the beginning of the season for his take on Luton Town's finances. I might have to get him back on to run through it.
It'll be a big one as well, because the amount of signings at the start of the season that went down as undisclosed, there will obviously...
Oh, those will be disclosed. Yeah. Those will be disclosed. I don't know.
23, so that won't... It won't...
It's 23, 24, so we'll have Ross Barkley's salary on there.
Yeah, but it won't
It'll be amalgamated.
Transfer fee to Villa or Chio, because that's 24, 25, isn't it?
Yeah, it's till the end of the season, so it'll be last summer's. We'll see the bonuses that were paid from promote. No, I think the bonuses were in last season's accounts, last year's accounts that were released, but we'll have great insight into what players were being paid, what directors were being paid, what the board were being paid. A lot of skeletons are about to come leaping out. Whoopsie. See that it's the skeletons. Blame the skeletons. A lot of skeletons are about to come leaping out the closet. We'll see. Yeah. What a fun note to finish the pod on.
Shall we talk about Leeds?
No. We got plenty of previews. We discussed Leeds already during it. And
okay, can I just point out that in our Sluga 6?
Oh yeah.
Double points here.
It's our prediction league.
A 1-0 win for Luton. So it's a tense 45 minutes after Hull scored their goal.
Yeah. There you go. I don't know how I did. I think I got quite a few predictions from the Championship prediction show. It's on our channel. Subscribe. Well done. Well done, Wedge. Broken clock is right twice a day.
I don't know if anyone's predicted a Luton win correctly this season. Yeah.
No, not at all. Few and far between. That's why I'm at the bottom, because I've been predicting too many wins. It's the optimist in me.
Yeah,
that's what I can
say.
It's
the hope, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's the hope that kills you.
Exactly. But that's us done for this week of the Luton Town show at the Bricklayers Arms. The award-winning Bricklayers Arms camera award-winning for South
You've
Beds.
had too many non-alcoholic beers.
It's tongue-tied. I can't even realise it's Sunday. You kept saying, it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow when the accounts are due in. And I'm like, it's not tomorrow. It's Monday, Wedge. It's Monday.
Just trying to give them more time to
it feels like a Saturday. I lose track of the days. But a big thank you to our host, Bricklayers Arms, right next to the station. If you're coming down on match days, drop in. Lots of beer on tap. None of us know how to pull a pint, so we're all drinking bottles. Thank you to Ollie for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Make sure you give it a share on the socials so people realise I'm still around. They can send the hate and direct it to our YouTube comments instead.
People like us, we're not good with the social media. So
no.
We're relying on you this week.
Using phones like this, I won't thank you, Wedge, because you're here every week.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's good. I like it.
Yeah, and a big thank you to our audio partners, Blackstone Amplification, for the toys that make this podcast possible. And also, thank you to the record shop in Amersham. Make sure you head down to Amersham if you like vinyl, because there's tons of vinyl on offer. They got a cave of vinyl. It's absolutely spectacular. Mention the OK Football Show, point to the picture of all of us, and you'll get a cheeky little discount. But that's us done. Everyone, have a great week, and most importantly, come
on, you actors.